Hey guys, I'm Sneha Banerjee and today I'll be talking you through the book Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. This one is a Fingerprints Classic edition and I'll recommend you guys to get this one because this book has a proper thorough introduction to Franz Kafka, and this edition also has a good preface to the story, so you get to know more and more about the story and what it actually is about. Franz Kafka is one of the major figures of the 20th century literature. Now his work includes the themes of alienation, realism, existential anxiety, absurdity, etc. Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka is a novella and it was first published in 1915, and the story basically revolves around a traveling salesman. His name is Gregor Samsa, and one day suddenly he wakes up to find himself being transformed or metamorphosed into a big giant insect-like creature. Gregor Samsa is obviously very terrified with this transformation and he doesn't really know what actually led him to this transformation. Now, as soon as he wakes up and finds himself in that condition, the only thing he can think about is going to his work and how he will be able to go, because he's already late and he just cannot get himself out of the bed because his body has changed and he just cannot understand how will he manage his new body. Now Gregor obviously doesn't really want to open the door and let everyone else see what has happened to him, but eventually he does that. He opens the door and his family and his employer gets to see what has happened to him. That is, he has transformed or metamorphosed into this weird and ugly looking creature, and everyone is completely full of disgust and they are actually very scared. Now the cause of Gregor's transformation is never revealed by Franz Kafka in the entire book, and basically the transformation of Gregor is not the basic theme of the story. This basic theme of the story has many concepts and many themes that are going around, and there are many layers to the story. So it is very important for the readers to go out of their way and find out what is there in the story truly, because there has been many interpretations of this story as no one really knows what actually Franz Kafka wanted to portray. Now the story is not just about the physical transformation of Gregor Samsa, it's also about the transformation of the psychology of all the characters that are surrounding him. That is his family members, his mother, his father and his sister. Now, Metamorphosis plunges deep down into the world of satire. It uses satire to portray how people change, how hypocrite they are, and how they change as and when their needs and requirements are not fulfilled. Now, it's really difficult to get rid of the pain that Franz Kafka instills through the innocence of his narration. The way he narrates the suffering of Gregor, it's like you transform yourself, you metamorphose into Gregor Samsa, you become Gregor, and you just understand what is he going through, and his suffering becomes your own suffering. Now there's no complete understanding to Metamorphosis. There are so many themes and so many layers to this book that there are different interpretations to everything. There are different interpretations by different writers and people. This book has a deeper connection with Franz Kafka himself, as we know that Kafka was a person who was dealing with many problems in his own life. He was a troubled character. His father was a person who used to bully him, and he had to get into this job that he really did not want to do, but out of duty he had to join with this job. And Kafka was really close to his sister, but eventually he thought that his sister was even betraying him. So all these things kind of added to the character of Kafka himself and the kind of things that he has written. Now the life of Franz Kafka reflects in the character of Gregor Samsa, the way his father behaved with him, the way his mother never could take a stand for him, and how his sister betrayed him later on. Everything resonated with the life of Kafka. So there are numerous layers for you to peel off from this novella. For everyone, this book will turn out to be something different. It's all up to you what you actually derive from the book. For someone it could be a different concept altogether, and the way Franz Kafka has narrated the whole thing, as I already said, that you do get metamorphosed into Gregor Samsa, you become him, so you get to see everything from his perspective and what he must have felt. You feel the pain yourself, you also suffer with Gregor, and so the story becomes so real. Metamorphosis is a book that you are going to keep alive in your heart forever. If you read it once, you will always be remembering every single part of it. I read this book quite some time back and I still remember each and every detail about Gregor Samsa and all the other characters. So if you want to read something that has a very long lasting effect on you, then Metamorphosis will be a perfect book for you. So yeah, this was my review for the book Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka, and I totally recommend you to go and read this book. Also subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click on the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload a new video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.